They want to take a quick peek, see how the division did, right? Because obviously we know there was a game yesterday that included us and some of the other teams in the division. So, why don't we check the division out? We got to keep the update going on, right? That's what we got to do, right? Keep the update going. But for us, man, we currently sit at 4-1, feeling great about that. Beautifully on top of the division, 2 games ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals, who we obviously play on Thursday night, but they took a L yesterday also, falling to 2-4, continuing now on a 4-game losing streak for them. Man, we obviously know this is Joe Flacco's first opportunity to start for them post trade. And yeah, man, he did some cool stuff out there, but as a whole, they still, couldn't get it going. They did actually look a little bit more competent on offense. And it was funny too, hearing Coach Tomlin talk about the trade and Andrew Berry making the trade. And I'm in agreement with Coach Tomlin because, like, what the actual heck were you thinking doing that? I don't get that, but I digress. But Bengals sitting at 2-4, like it's on a 4-game skid. Hopefully we'll make this a 5-game skid next time I show this graphic. All right. Baltimore, shout out to the Ravens, shout out to the Ratbirds, shout out to them boys continuing to be stank booty. Okay. 1-5 on a 4-game losing streak right now. They are hopeless without Lamar. That continues to be the case. They scored 3 points versus the Rams. 17-3 was the game. That was the score. And yes, as we said, when Lamar went down, Cooper Rush, that offense it doesn't work. It's round hole, square peg, and it's like, yo, I can't fit this, man. This ain't meshing. So I'm glad they got those problems, though. I'm definitely glad they have them. But as we look right now, it's like, yeah, they are struggling. And then you throw Cleveland, who got off the schneid a little while ago, and that's why their losing streak is only 3 games and not more, but they're still sitting at 1-5. And we have legitimate questions about what the state of their organization is in. I feel like we do this every year. It just happens a little bit sooner this year, right? Because you look at them trading away Joe Flacco. That's the guy that was their opening day starter, a guy that, to me, still gives them their best chance to win, unless, you're going, with some of these younger guys, which we'll see if any of them develop, right? Because we don't know, they're unknown. So we could leave it like that. But in terms of winning this season, Flacco should be the guy that gives them the best chance because of his track record, because how proven he is. They moved on from him. We talked about Greg Newsome, a guy that they've drafted, a guy that they've loved, a guy that's been starting for them for a while. They moved on from him for Tyson Campbell. Now, I do like the Campbell swap. I actually do like that. I think Campbell is a heck of a one-on-one, man-to-man dude with good size on him. But you just ask yourself, like, are y'all tanking? Are you trying to evaluate, excuse me, what you have in Dylan Gabriel? I'm going to get a drink, man. I got the hiccups all of a sudden, man. God, dog. Or is it, the scenario where you're trying to get Stefanski up out of there? You're like, hey, man, Stefanski, if you can't figure out how to continue to win or have a winning season or be competitive with this group, we don't want you. I mean, shoot, these situations when you're watching the Browns, right? When you watch the Ravens, minus their quarterbacks, when you're looking at the Bengals, right? I look at all of those teams, and I think to every time us as Steelers haven't had the A player at quarterback, and we still find ways to stay relevant. We still find ways to be in the mix. And then I even look at quarterbacks that we've had success with. Russell Wilson, right? We talk about Justin Fields, and you look at them elsewhere and how much they struggle. Whether you're talking Fields in Chicago or even Fields with the Jets right now, it's like, man, negative 10 net passing yards for the day, for 4 quarters of football being played, 9 completions, 9 sacks. Dude, that's crazy to me, man. And then you look at Coach Thomas, and it's like, yo, that was 4-2 with Coach T here. You look at Rush. Rush thing got benched, right, for Dart. And it's like, yo, Russ had us. Who's cooking with Russ? Who's winning with Russ? Like, yo, it's just crazy to me at times, man. When we look at these other teams and how we talk about them at times, we talk about their coaches at times. And it's like, man, when they have adversity, like how we have adversity, why they go belly up like this all the time, man? Like, this is wild to me, man. And like I said, there isn't it's because this one player. It's like, nah, man, we could go down the list of these players or even these coaches. And it's like, yo, we find ways regardless of what the circumstances are. Whereas these other ones, like, they just make excuses dang near, man. But, it's what it is. But I love how this looks right now in the division, though, man. And I don't see it changing anytime soon if we continue to take care of business. You can't sleep on any team because we know this is the National Football League. Everybody is capable, right? But if we are clearly going out there and playing just our game, I don't see a reason why we don't have this thing locked up. I don't see a reason why we're not sitting here at 5-1 this time next week, because Cincinnati, they're limping, they struggling. When you make moves at quarterback and you starting 3 separate quarterbacks within the first 7 weeks of the NFL season, yeah, you're not in a good place, man. And especially when one guy that you're starting literally just got on your roster, was it 3 days prior to the game starting? It's like, yo, bro, this is nuts, man. But that's their situation. That's what they're in. So for us, it's like, yeah, we have everything kind of aligned in the way that it's needing to be aligned. Quarterback playing right, O-line continuing to get better each and every week, defense getting healthier, living up to the moniker, right? Highest paid defense. Yeah, it looked like it. That looked great. That's money well spent, was what I looked at and said yesterday. It was like, yo, that's, if I got Lambo money and I cop a Lambo, I want to feel like I'm driving a Lambo. I don't want to feel like I'm driving the Honda Accord. No offense to the Accord. But it's like, yo, I paid that for that. So I wanted to feel like that. Not I paid that and we just barely getting by in this. Like, heck no. It looked like the Lambo yesterday. It looked like that. It looked like the highest paid defense out there. That's what you want. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, stay healthy. I don't see why this has to change, though, man. Because Cincinnati, Joe Burrow isn't walking through that door until December, right? Baltimore, you about another week realistically, and then it's okay, can Lamar get back, and what does he look like? He didn't practice at all last week, so it's like, go. Eventually he's going to start to practice, and then from there, is he compromised? Can he actually be the dual threat, or is he a true, I got to sit in that pocket and throw? And then after that, because you're at 1-5 right now, one more loss, you're at 1-6. Now you're talking about being perfect going forward. You're saying, hey, you have to be perfect. Can't lose anymore. That's just tough to do. It's very tough to do. Now, we're not saying they're not capable of that, but you could just see the hole that they are putting themselves in right now. And then Cleveland, as we said, unless Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders are going to magically develop into, these legit proven QB1s this year, and like fast too, because they already at 1-5. It's like, that's about to be insurmountable. That's about to be the scenario where they're like, all right, who's getting fired first? Is it the head coach? Is it the coordinators? Like, who's going? Somebody got to go. Somebody about to move. Fire sales. Is Jerry Jeudy on the market? We're calling for Myles Garrett. We just wanted to ask to see if Myles is available. All right, like that's kind of how I look at that situation right now. So for us, health still maintained, right? Still playing at a high level, staying clean, not turning the ball over, tackling well, blocking well. It's like, yo, I don't see why this has to change, man. I truly don't. But it's such a validating feeling, though, man. Just seeing the Steelers doing what they're doing right now based on the decisions that were made this offseason, man. We think about the decision by the organization to be willing to move on from Fields, to be willing to move on from Russ, to wait as long as they did for Rodgers. And we know how all of us felt at various points in times about that wait. Heck, we know how some of us felt even about the decision to not stick with Russ or to not stick with Fields or to go with Rodgers. It was a lot in there. Some people wanted Mason, some people wanted Will Howard, but it's like, man, at least through these first 6 weeks, right? We had the bye week, but through these first 6 weeks, the decision making throughout the offseason is paying dividends right now, man. And this is a good feeling, baby. For sure, this is a good feeling, man. So I'm liking it, man. But like I said, I don't see why this has to stop. I truly don't, man. But maybe y'all let me know something in the comment section, man. All right, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about the way we looking right now, because I think we look dang on good, man. All right? I think we look dang good. Shout out to the division, though.